Hello everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and I have a very quick project for you today. Unfortunately, I just finished taping a project, and when I was all done, I realized that I hadn't turned the video on. So this is the second part of the video. This is the envelope for the card that I made. And I'll show you the card at the end of the video, but if you are seeing this video, then by now the project is already posted on my blog. So just go to www.djsundries.blogspot.com and I will tell you what materials I used, and as well as what Cricut cartridges I used and everything. Stamp set, everything will be on the blog. So I do apologize for that, but I made a 6x6 card and I didn't have any 6x6 envelopes, so I needed to make an envelope. So I got out my Martha Stewart scoreboard, and it took me 2 tries because I so rarely make envelopes that I scored it wrong, and I realized about halfway through with the scoring I was like, this doesn't look right. And then I remembered you had to turn it all on angles, and maybe someday I'll do a tutorial showing you how to use the scoreboard to make envelopes, because it's really not difficult. So what I did is I took a piece of this white cardstock, and this is really thin cardstock. It's just some that I picked up at Joann's, and it's 12 by 12, and I made a 6x6 envelope. Now the color palette that I need is not white at all. In fact, it was the closest thing I had, because I just feel like when I'm making envelopes, I don't want it to be too thick. And so I just decided, you know what, I better use this paper because it's a little bit thinner. It's relatively thin cardstock. I don't know what the weight of it is, but it's just the 12 by 12 packs from Joann's. So I made my 6x6 envelope. And since I don't want it white, I pulled out my Antique Linen Distress ink and my Ice Spruce Distress ink, and that will make more sense in a minute. But let's start with the Antique Linen, and let's really try to make this card look less white and a little more vintagey. Now I'm being I'm going in fairly far. If I had been paying closer attention, I would have realized that a card that you make based on the scoreboard sizes for a 6x6 inch card is obviously the envelope's bigger than 6x6. It's just a little bit, maybe 6.5 or 7 inches square. And so when I had used leftover paper for my card to used to decorate the front of the envelope, and since I had made a 6x6 inch card, I had cut a 12-inch sheet of cardstock down, and so I just used the other 6 inches from the other side, and it ended up being quite a bit smaller. I bet there's probably 1/4 of an inch all the way around, maybe even 3/8 of an inch, I don't know. But so I'm really coming in a little bit with this because I don't want all that bright white to show, because you'll see in a minute how much that really does clash with my envelope. This birthday card is for someone that is late, and so I figured, you know what, I don't mind taking the extra time. The person, of course, anybody that you love, that you love and care enough about to make a card, is probably worth the effort. And in this case, this person is, and I wanted to make sure that he got a nice card. So I've distressed that with the Antique Linen, and now I want to go in with the Ice Spruce and just add that extra dimension of color. And I'm not going in as far because I don't want it to be up right against where my colored cardstock is going, but I do want it to show up nicely and just add that extra layer of color. And again, all that bright white in the middle won't matter because I'm covering it up. So then I have a piece of cardstock again, and this is about a 6-inch square of cardstock, and actually it's not even that. Yeah, I think it is a 6-inch square, and that's going to go on right there. Now see what a difference that inking made. It just makes a humongous difference. And you know, people were inking the edges of their cards and projects before Tim Holtz came out with the Distress palettes. But I'll tell you what, I really enjoy using my Distress inks to do that. It just, they were made to do that, and they do a great job. Now this 6-inch square is from the Shimmer Stack from Die Cuts with a View, and that's kind of going to pop up in the front. Now I want to make sure that that piece didn't matter, which was top and bottom, because it's just solid. But the next piece that I'm using does matter. So I want to make sure that I have it in the back, that I have the flap going up just like that. So this is the top, and then I have a piece, and this is from the 6x6 inch pad from My Mind's Eye, and this is from the Cowboys pad, and again it's 6x6. Now if I had chosen to cut another larger, you know, get out a whole new piece of paper, because I only had 6 inches, then I wouldn't have had to trim this down at all. But if I wanted to see the green, I needed to trim it down. And so I think what I want to do before I put that on, just to give just a little bit more dimension to my this piece, let's go ahead and go around that with some ice spruce. Just like that. Just a little bit more color, a little bit more pop and dimension. And so then I'm just going to adhere that down. Now I don't know if you've used the My Mind's Eye paper, but this cowboy stack is very masculine. It has cowboys in it. It also has airplanes, vintage airplanes, like a biplane I think is what they called it, and it has other things. This is this actually says postcard and airmail. Now I am not really mailing this. If I was really mailing it, I would have to take probably more precautions, because chances are this would get torn up in the mail. I am really mailing it, but it's going inside of a package, and so I'm not too worried about it getting messed up. So this is my card. Now I had some very fun letter stickers that I was going to use, but I didn't. They were black and white polka dot, and it was just too much of a contrast. So I went back into my stash, and I found these gold, old Bop letters. I think they're from Pioneer, or I don't even know who made them. They're really old. I hope they still stick. And I'm going to use my little Cricut tool now. I don't have it, my paper piercer has disappeared. I think I know who the culprit is, and I keep forgetting to ask her for it. I need to do that, but this will work to just help with my placement of the letters. And it's just kind of subtle, kind of something a little bit different, kind of something that it's kind of out of my norm to make this little whole thing. And I'm pretty sure this card's actually for my little brother. I doubt if he follows my blogging, so hopefully we're safe until he gets it. But there we have it, our finished envelope. It says Tom, it's ready for the card. Now I'm just going to show you again a sneak peek of the card, and I've actually finished off the inside as well as the outside, but this is the card that's going in that, and you see it all matches. And there's some really fun techniques, so you're going to have to head over to the blog. I'll put the link below, but in case you miss it, it's www.djssundries.blogspot.com, and head on over and see this fabulous card. And in the meantime, don't forget to take some time to enjoy the little things, even if it's something as little as dressing up an envelope. So have a great day, and thanks for stopping by today.